Good evening, everybody. Pop in, say hi when you get in here. It took me a couple of minutes. I was trying to go live, but I was trying to go live on my personal channel, right? And yeah, I went into panic mode because it said I wasn't eligible to go live, and I thought, oh my God, did they mess around with my account, or did I do something wrong or something? So I had a moment of panic, but I was just signed into the wrong account. Yeah. It's just like me. I can never do anything like straightforward, and it'd always work out for me normally, right? I guess it's all about a little bit more preparation. But like I said, when you pop in, say hi. I'll just go into my channel here so I like to read the comments on my on my main monitor on my PC, because yeah, and that way I can turn it off on my camera, and then I can just talk to everybody. I like using my phone when I go live. It just doesn't have a nice wide angle, but I do like the clarity of the composition, right? And I do have a mic. I guess I should be wearing it right now just to have better sound, but I'll remember to wear my headset next week if I'm still using my phone. Which I'm assuming I'm going to be using my phone for a little bit, because a webcam, I want to get a good webcam, right? I'm not buying any more junk just to save $20, and then I end up with something that's junk. I might have dropped it. I think actually I might have even fixed it, but I didn't want to take the chance today, right? And start going live with the camera and then have everybody saying it's buffering again. But I think what I did is it just, the front cap loosened up, right? And it just needed to be tightened up so it had a better connection, right? But like I said, I didn't want to try. But when you come in, say hi. I'm just gonna check here. Live chat. There we go. Put all my chat on there. But say hi when you walk in here. And like I said, right now I'm just gonna go over to my channel here on my PC so that I can uh, I can watch, and I'll just turn the volume off on that. And we are good to go for the evening. I've made myself a cup of coffee. Where do we want to start? I guess we're going to start with the week, right? They have me in a work program. I got to meet the main counselor that I'm going to be working with through the council. I work with so many different people, lots of teachers and mentors, and people come from outside. Like, I got my CPR, my emergency response certificate this week on Friday. They put me through the class. I got it for free. Like, I usually have to pay for that, right? But yeah, it was an all-day class, but yeah, I got my certificate, so I'm pleased with that. That looks really good on a certificate. And if somebody should ever get hurt in my presence, right, I am that person that's going to jump in. And if I am going to jump in, it's important that I know what I'm going to do, right? That I'm not going to hurt somebody trying to, help them out, right? So yeah, it was very interesting. I learned quite a lot from this gentleman who came in, and he was a super, super interesting and eccentric guy, right? He was a paramedic. Yeah, he was a paramedic, and he was like talking lots about his job, but he was in the military, and he likes to bodybuild and stuff. But yeah, what a terrific sense of humor he had. Yeah, he really made the class pleasurable, right? Like, he actually wanted to absorb, and you wanted to learn, right? Just by the way he was getting across, and you could clearly see how much he cared, right? Like, he wasn't just doing it for a paycheck. Like, you could tell, like, he really, really seriously cared about what he was doing, right? So yeah, I thought it was really interesting. And tomorrow I have another appointment with another lady. I had a class with her last week or the week before, and she emailed me, and she set up an appointment. We'll have a little chat. It'll probably only be for about a half an hour or so because I have a workshop on Monday, so I want to go to that. And yeah, it starts like a half an hour after I start this other one. So maybe we could have our chit chat and just make it short. I'll make sure I have my questions ready for her and everything. But yeah, super nice lady, and she does mindset and stuff. So, now that I'm moving upwards now, right? Like I'm done. Like I am totally done. Like being on the floor, right? And I'm going nowheres by up but up now. Like today I took care of some things, right? Tomorrow I'm thinking of a really good 30-day challenge that I'm going to do on Instagram starting tomorrow. Now I don't know what the challenge is going to be. But it's going to be about some kind of improvement, a 30-day improvement. I know my cat is in need to be fixed, right? It's not neutered. Is it neutered for female cats? I don't know. She needs to be fixed anyway. Like last thing I want is my cat to go into heat, right? And I just started a new job and I have to listen to the cat howling and my neighbors have to listen to the cat howling and stuff. And yeah, and a cat will stay in heat for a couple of weeks at least, right? So yeah, and it's spring and she likes the window and I've been purposely picking her up, numerous times a day. I picked the cat up. At first she didn't like it at all. Like she's not a biter, she has very long nails. Like she likes to do that kneading stuff lots, but she doesn't nip, she doesn't scratch, she doesn't rough play. I just love like cats like that, right? A little bit overly affectionate, but the thing is, it was scared, right? So it's gonna take a little bit for the cat to settle down. But yeah, I just want to make sure that I'm picking up the cat every couple of hours, and I'll walk around a little bit, not too much to freak it out because it doesn't really like it too much. But I'm gonna hashtag my 30-day challenge. I'm gonna call it Perfect Me because her name is Perfect, right? And so it's going to be improvements for her. So like I said, I need to get her vaccinations and I need to have her fixed. And that's probably going to cost me at least $150. So I got to figure out how to come up with $150 by the end of the month because it has to be done in the next month, right? And for myself, I'm trying to think, right? Like I'm looking to lose another 10 pounds, right? Because I kind of want to float between 160 and 170. Hi, Owen. I want to bounce between 160 and 170. It's a comfortable weight for me. It's where I think I look my best. And I remember my doctor, when I dropped down to 157 and my doctor told me to gain 10 pounds, right? Because the thing is, when you lose weight, like you have loose skin and stuff too, so you got to take that into account, right? And there was a time that I was much larger, right? And I have very dense bones too, right? So I'm probably, about 20 pounds, maybe, yeah, probably about 20 pounds lighter than what my scale actually says that I am, right? Because got to take in consideration that bone density and loose skin. I don't have a lot of loose skin anymore, just because I did, I went and the last time when I lost that major weight when I was 300 pounds, I went in to have a tummy tuck, right? And they took 11 pounds of loose skin. My back is actually my front, right? Because they cut you in the front and they pull everything nice and tight, and then they sew it up again, right? So yeah, I was so happy to do that, and the Manitoba government, they paid for that for me, right? They took my mental well-being into consideration and they did that for me. I remember when I went into, because as soon as I lost the weight, the first thing I wanted to do was have the plastic surgeries, right? I wanted to have the boob jobs and I wanted to have the tummy tuck, right? As soon as I had I had lost the weight. But my plastic surgeon, he wanted me to wait, right? He wanted me to make sure that I was maintaining my weight for a year. And he also wanted to find little ways to make sure that it wasn't going to cost me very much. It ended up costing me nothing, right? But I remember in that appointment when he told me he wanted me to wait for a year before he would do any operations, and my most concern was about the boob job, right? Because I was all about at that time. I was looking to date, and I was looking, I was getting attention, right? And I was just too self-conscious to be in front of guys and stuff, right? So I remembered that I was desperate for my boob job. Like, my boobs look like, I don't know if you guys, well, I'm sure some of you guys did, the Penthouse magazines, and there was a little old lady character in the magazine, right? She had these long, skinny boobs that went down to her ankles, and my boobs were actually looked like that, like at that cartoon character, right? And I couldn't believe it. Like, it didn't even cross my mind that when I had lost all that weight that first time, that I was actually gonna look like that. My body looked worse after I lost all that weight than it did when I actually was larger, right? And I remember sitting in that doctor's office when he told me I had to wait a year before he would give me my boob job, right? And I remember I started bawling my eyes out right there, and I remember him saying, take your time, right? And he says, you never know, like, maybe after 6 or 7 months or something, maybe we can get you in for a count, because he was starting to feel bad, right? Like, he had said a year, right? And he said, maybe we'll get a consolation for you, and you can get in a little bit earlier. And then he kept checking in on me every 15 minutes, and I was still sitting there bawling, just bawling my eyes out. At that time, I was in love with somebody, right? And I really, really was doing this whole thing. I did that whole journey, right? I did that for him. But the thing is, at that time, I wasn't mentally prepared to be a skinny person, right? But the universe, I guess, wanted me to experience, before I got older, that wanted me to experience that part of my life, right? So, and I'm so glad that I did. But finally, I left the doctor's office, or the doctor's room at that time, and I went to the front desk of the doctor's and to set up my appointment. He says, "Oh, when does he want to see you?" And he says, "Oh, we're just going to wait a little bit." But he says, he mentioned the cancellation list. He says, "Oh, you want to go on a cancellation list? What are you going for?" I says, "Oh, I'm having the boob job. I'm having the lift and reductions." And she says, "Oh, okay, well, I can do that for you. I can put you on the waiting list." And I said, "Oh, okay, thank you very much." And then I left, and then 2 weeks later, I got a call that there was a cancellation. And a week later, like, maybe even a few days later, right? I got in to have the operation, but it wasn't the boob job that I could go in. I had to have the tummy tuck first, right? They had to give me the tummy tuck first. Otherwise, the boobs might not end up in the right position, right? Because I needed the tummy tuck and I needed the boob job, right? But the thing is, I was in a bikini. Like, I did bikini for a couple of years after doing that. I was like, I would never, if I hadn't had that gastric bypass, the stomach stapling, if I hadn't had that operation when I was 27 years old, I wouldn't have gotten to experience. I probably would have never have married. I would definitely have not been able to be, like, brought into that amazing community, the Canadian Forces, like the 2PP CLI they just took such good care of me, right? Like, they brought me right into the family, and yeah, they treated me like a queen, right? And and I was sort of kind of the queen bee, like I was like head waitress at the bar at that time, right? And I was like second for the longest time, because that head waitress who was there had just left, right? Shortly before I left, she left, right? But yeah, so I don't know how it got me into that story. But anyway, it was the best thing. It was the best thing ever when I had that done, and it was amazing that Manitoba took my mental well-being into consideration, because I would never have ever had that experience unless I had done that, right? And it only took me 8 months. I was 311 pounds, right? 311 pounds. I had the gastric bypass. I lost a total of 160 pounds. Took me 8 months, right? But it was worth it, you know. I think I think within maybe 6 months of losing that weight, you know, I think I was even maybe even engaged, right? Already. Yeah. But yeah, so that's how I was just thinking about that. Like there's a lot of, you know, a lot of stuff that I've been kind of mulling around in my head lately, right? And it's, you know, it's this school, right? I'm trying to keep up with, you know, everything all together. And at the same time, I'm trying to impact my life, you know, positively, right? Because, you know, I really don't feel that, you know, it think my life fights me a little bit, right? If I'm not going in the direction where you know, life wants to lead me, right? You know, things don't go well for me, right? Little things that let me know that, you know, I'm going in the wrong directions. Things just don't work out for me and stuff, right? And you know, this past week, like on Monday, I went to class, and after class there's like a bargain store like on the main floor, so I went down to the bargain store and picked up a few things that I needed there, and I left my change purse on the cash counter, right? And I had all the money in the world that I had, right? And I just left, and I turned around and I went back in to get my purse, and by the time I got back it was gone, and I had lost all the money I had, so I had to walk from my house all the way downtown and back, right? Because it's mandatory. I have to take these classes, and I have to go through this program, like I can't miss them, right? So yeah, so that's what happened. I end up losing I end up losing my change purse, and I had no money, no bus fare for the week, and I did it, right? Like I usually go for evening walks, right? So I only counted it as my walk, right? But you have to get up extra early because all my classes were in the morning and stuff. So, you know, you get up early, and it takes me a couple hours to get down there, right? But then you have your classes, and then takes you a couple hours to walk home, right? And if you don't have a class that day, you're still expected to go down there and use the resources and stuff, right? So it was like it just it and just little things all through the week just kind of just kept telling me, you know, like trying to do my Instagram posts and coming home and not being able to find my calendar for the next day and not knowing where I'm supposed to be and losing my tag with my punching numbers and you know, all this stuff. These kind of things just say like, Cindy, you're not really supposed to be here. Like you're supposed to be heading in another direction, right? So yeah, I have to, well, I already know what I have to do. It's just a matter of how do I approach it, right? You know? Yeah, I just have to, yeah, I know what I'm gonna do. I don't know if it's gonna work out in my favor, but I know what I'm gonna do, and at least I'll have an answer, and if I don't get the answer, right? Not a big deal, not a big deal that I don't, right? Because my life usually works that way anyway. I'll just find something else to do. But you know, I'm supposed to be following my heart, right? Like I'm supposed to follow the things that I love and the things that resonate with me and stuff, right? And yeah, so yeah. I've got to start making some moves, or I'm gonna be stuck with a life that I don't want, right? You know, I can do anything. Like I know whatever, you know, like they're specifically looking for bartending and serving. I told them that's what I want, right? Because they're not doing marketing, even though they said they'll help me with the classes for the typing. Because I told them that I really would like to learn to be a really good typer, right? Because what I do, right, if I'm going to be doing copyright and if I'm going to be, pulling information and interviewing and documenting, it's important that I'm very good on the computer, and I can click here and I can click there, and it's easy to do all that, to find stuff that way, but to actually, when you've actually got it right? And I understand that life is moving so fast these days that eventually we're not going to even have a keyboard, and they're doing it already, right? Like where you can actually have perfect grammar and everything when you actually just speak in for recording, right? And then, and pretty soon I'll be doing my Instagram posts that way. Won't that be fun with all my ums and you knows and right? Yeah. I still haven't gotten rid of all of those, but I am making great improvement, right? I've been spending time like around the house and stuff, so I've been practicing trying to speak out loud a little bit more instead of just keeping it inside my head, right? Because there's nobody here anyway, mind you. I'm sure the neighbor downstairs can hear me. Oh, he came up last night, my neighbor downstairs, and he brought me a couple of chicken breasts. I feel so bad. Everybody's feeling so sorry for me. I lived on pity, and pity is not good. Pity is not good for your self-worth, right? As a small kid, I never got any attention unless it was, oh, okay. Yeah, I just lost. I was just reading the comment there, and I forgot what I was talking about. And it was going to be good too. If you could remind me where I was heading, if you could just give me a clue as to where I was going, then I'll just get right back on track, I'm sure. But like I said, this week I'm getting it all done. I'm following the program, and I am going for serving. It's because I'm using my phone tonight, right? So notifications would have gone out differently. It'll take a few. People will show up, and you got to remember, we have a time change, right? So they'll come in for like our last half an hour. People will show up tonight because they're probably thinking that it's actually what time the clock went ahead. Did it go ahead or backwards today? I think it went ahead. It went ahead today, the daylight savings time, right? Yeah, it stayed a little bit later tonight. Oh, so it went ahead. It went ahead today. So that means it'll be like it's really, in some places people still be thinking that it's 6:30, right? Yeah, so I didn't expect, like, again, a lot of my viewers, they catch my live shows after I've done them, right? After they've re-uploaded as a video. I don't think they actually re-upload as video. They stay as a live. So when you do come in, and if you've missed one of my lives, just go to my main channel, right? And go into videos and hit the videos, and then there's an option for video or for lives, right? And then you can hit the lives, and then all my lives will show up. But I also have a playlist, on the main page too, with all my lives. So if you miss any of my lives, you can always catch them there, right? Oh, which reminds me, I've got to make all my old ones public, but the thing is, they're not going to. Well, yeah, they're really interesting. I'm thinking of actually maybe putting some of my old videos together as lessons. I'm remembering some of my episodes and stuff. Some of my breakdowns, and I thought if I could compare them, to how I'm doing now, because I'm in no better situation right now than I was back then, right? The only difference is my attitude has changed. Like I'm feeling well. I should say I'm feeling better, but it's a moment to moment thing. The past few days, right? But yeah, I'm very, very pleased. I dealt with my car. I got my driver's license and I paid off the insurance that I owed. Like I got my income tax return because the first thing I want to do once I get a job and I've got a paycheck coming around that I can blow $300, right? Which will cover my first month's insurance, then yeah, I've got to get my car on the road, right? And I know my sister Tracy, she'll give me back the car as soon as I oh, William's here. Soon as I can afford the insurance, yeah, she'll give me the car. She might even, do me a solid or something, maybe she's got a little bit of gardening or a little bit of housework or something that I can do for her in exchange for the car insurance. Now, I never even thought of that. What a great idea. I'll have to think of that and then have a discussion with her because, wouldn't that be great if I could have the car and not have to worry about the insurance and all I have to do is worry about the gas, right? That would be, ooh, wouldn't that be amazing? And if I'm going back into serving and bartending, then I'm definitely going to have tip money again, right? So I could go back to my exploring. And usually when you're serving and bartending, you don't get weekends off. You work the weekends because those are your busy days is the weekends, right? So my days off will be during the week, which I don't mind because the back roads are nice and quiet and slow on the weekdays and stuff, right? So yeah, I'm so desperate to get out into the nature. Like yeah, I would feel so much better, even if my sister would maybe lend me her car. Wouldn't that be nice if she would lend me her car for 24 hours and I could just go disappear. Wouldn't that be nice if I could just go disappear for 24 hours even, right? Even with spring here, just to go for a drive, like, yeah, I don't mind sleeping in my car. Like, it was fantastic sleeping in my car, and there's lots of beautiful places in Manitoba that I could go, right? For a little bit of a outdoor visit. Oh, really? When's your time change? Is your time change already happening? Did it happen today? 9 o'clock already. Oh, right. You're an hour and ahead of us, right? Maybe in this, well, yeah, this is actually a really good time for going live, unless I was to do it in the morning, right? But in the morning, I'm usually tied up in lessons. Hello, Andrew. Hello, Andrew. Yeah, so make sure you rewind, Andrew. I was talking a little bit about the work program that I'm in and stuff, and that I got my emergency response certificate, right? So if somebody gets hurt or if somebody has a heart attack and stuff, like I'm that kind of person. I'm that person that's just gonna, jump in and save the day, right? I've been that person my whole life, right? So, like I said, it's good to be certified to actually know what I'm doing, right? No more butter. Like putting butter on a burn is the most stupidest thing. Yeah, and I was the one to do that. I would even use Pam, right? I would take the can of Pam and spray my burns when I, burn my fingers on the cookie sheets and stuff. And yeah, just cold water. The trick is you got to pull the heat out, right? When you burn. So yeah, and him being a paramedic, yeah, he told lots of horror stories, right? Of he was saying that he had to treat a little boy that fell into the fire pit. His dad pulled him out of the off the logs in the fire pit, and yeah, all his skin was on the logs and stuff. Like it was like fire, right? And I've always been that person to be a little bit afraid of fire and electricity, right? I'm no fire if I can control it, right? But those are things that really can't be controlled, right? Yeah, fire and electricity. Yeah. I've gotten zapped many times, and I actually had a gas stove oven blow up on me when I was making Jiffy Pop popcorn, and I didn't realize that there was no burner, and I couldn't understand why there was no flame. But I remembered my mom always, lighting a match sometimes and putting it near the burner, and then the fire would start. But I guess I had left the gas on for too long and not noticing when I was trying to make my Jiffy Pops up. But so when I went to light the burner, the whole oven door blew off, and the bathroom was right across from the oven door, and the oven door knocked the bathroom door on my sister's head because she was sitting on the toilet. And then in turn, it fell on the bathroom sink and broke the sink on the porcelain sink onto the ground. And then the shelf fell into the bathtub. And yeah, that was a mess. And then to try and clean up that mess, and I used like laundry soap to clean the floors. And yeah, it was a disaster. I got it good. I got it good for that one. I got it good for that one. And it wasn't like I was intentionally a Dennis the Menace, but I was babysitting my sisters. I think my mother did housekeeping, right? She worked in hospitals and she did all different types of shifts and stuff. But, my dad slept during the day because he was a taxi driver on midnights, right? So my dad was in bed sleeping most of the day, so we never saw our dad till evening, and it usually was just be for a short while before, because he would just get up quickly, have a cup of coffee or a cup of tea, and then he would just head off to work, right? So yeah, I think I was babysitting at 6, 7 years old, and I was actually babysitting full time. Like on the weekends, I would go. I worked for a lady who took care of foster kids. Right, I would go on Friday, and I would help her out, and I would go home on Sundays. Right. And yeah, for the whole weekend I would work, and I would get $100 every weekend. She would give me $100. Like, there weren't many kids my age that were getting paid cash $100 every week, right? And I would buy my own clothes and go to movies and buy makeup. And yeah, I really enjoyed. And I always said, I don't want to be an entrepreneur. I don't want to be an entrepreneur. But, everything in my life was kind of entrepreneurship, kind of, right? All the things that I did, right? It was kind of like working for myself anyway, making money. Like when I was doing the fur coats on eBay, like for years, I would work from like say spring right till Christmas, and I would just sell fur coats that I would pick up at the secondhand store. I'd pick them up for under like $10, and I would sell them for hundreds of dollars. Like sometimes I would I remember this fox coat I picked up one time for $7.99, and I got almost $800 for it on eBay in an auction. I was in absolute shock, right? And here in Manitoba, well, this was fur coat, country. I mean, it's 40 minus 50 below here in the winter, and being the home of the Hudson Fur Trading Company, like this was everybody here had furs here, right? And yeah, and there's still some even old 100-year-old fur company. Actually, I do know there's a 100-year-old fur company still active here in the Heritage Village, right? And yeah, so I'd go to the secondhand store, and there would always be fur coats. But then after a while, they hiked the price up to $60 and $70 at these secondhand stores. So it didn't seem worth it, because then at that point you're taking a chance. Because sometimes you would put up a fur coat like a muskrat or something, and people didn't like muskrat coats, right? And then you get stuck with these coats. Like I had this beautiful shaved beaver coat, beautiful shaved beaver coat with a beautiful mink collar, and I just put it in a bag a week ago, and I took it down to the donation box and I donated it, right? When somebody bought that coat brand new, that probably cost them $1,000 when they brought that coat brand new, and I just put it like in a grocery bag or a recycle bag, and I just took it down to the recycle bin, right? And those goes to the secondhand stores, and then they make a little bit of profit, right? But yeah, I would work from May till just before Christmas, and then I would take a few months off, and in those few months I would just buy coats. I would just visit secondhand stores or yard sales or estate sales, and I would just pick up these fur coats cheap, right? There were certain kinds of coats that would make lots of money, like the blonde minks, like the white mink coats. Oh my gosh, I would make so much money off of those. And little shawls, I would pick up little shawls for $10, and I would always get like $150, $200 for easy money. I made so much money. But I didn't like wrapping, right? So when I would go to the auctions with my sisters sold everything. She did eBay. She was the one who taught me how to do eBay, right? And I did fur coats, but she did estate sales, and she would go down there and buy out stores. Like she'd go and spend like $500 and buy boxes of brand new bras and panties, and she would sell them, and she would make like $10,000 profit on something that she paid $500 for. She would buy out hairdresser shops, and she'd buy out all their shampoos and hair conditioners and stuff, right? And or she'd buy estate sales, old furniture, and she'd buy jewelry boxes and stuff. Like she found a Rolex one time, like a $10,000 Rolex in a jewelry box. She picked up a box for $5, and the jewelry box was in the box, right? She picked up this watch, and it was $10,000. Like she found a marble that she got for $1,000. It was just an old marble. It had a pontoon. They used to make the marbles handmade, right? And I've actually got one of those marbles right here. See it? It's with my magic doodads. I think in a past life I was very eclectic and stuff, and I see some of these people that work in tarot, or they work in what do they call it, light language and Reiki and stuff. They have lots of doodads, lots of sage burning and stuff like that, and I don't want to be that person. I want to be like very, very professional, right? Because I'll be working with people that actually are there for help, and they're not going to be believing in the magic stuff and stuff. So I have three rocks, and I have other ones, but I just leave them in the bathtub, right? Oh, this one? No, it's not, Andrew. It was in my jewelry box, and I was going to give it to my sister, and I put it on my finger so I could give it to her when I saw her, but when I saw her, she didn't want it. But after a while, it just felt comfortable on my finger, right? And so yeah, it feels comfortable. So I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it for now anyway. But yeah, but like I was saying, I do candles, right? In my kitchen window when I'm doing my Instagram post, I like to sit at the kitchen window with the window open, with the breeze blowing in my face and the candle lit. Like that's the way I like to do my posts, right? I do that, and I do have my 2 rocks and my marble here. Oh, and I do have my bowl of acorns and sticks and stuff that I pick up, here and there. And I do have my bowl of rocks that I picked up on the side of the highway when I took my trip to. Yeah, I guess I do have. I guess I do have lots of little nature doodads and stuff. Like look at, like, this is just a little stick, right? But I thought it was cool. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's also got like, see the worm lines on that? I thought it was just, I don't know. It's just a stick. It's just nature, right? So So, and I like that stuff, but I didn't think I had lots of that kind of stuff. But if I think about it now, I have a little bit, but not bad. Not bad like I've seen with lots of people. Like lots of people have lots of little knickknacks and stuff. And I've given them most of them away, or I've thrown them in my bathtub as healing rocks, right? You know? Because they've been with me for so long, right? And yeah. But yeah, so I'll just sit here and I'll just play with them, you know, while I'm working. But yeah, the only reason I pulled it was to show you this one antique marble, that I have, that I just love it. I just love the color. I just love the color, right? I don't know how much this one was worth, but the marble that my sister sold for almost $1,000 was maybe twice the size of this one, but very similar, right? Very similar, but it was like twice the size, and she got almost $1,000 for it, right? My sister was really, really good. She was really good. My sister liked to deal with train sets, right? She really liked train sets and Barbie accessories. Like she knew all the little markets, you know, of things that were for sale. Like I've been selling some things myself, right? And you know, just stuff around the house. But I sold some action figures in a little case. Like I got $50 for it, right? I just pulled it out of the garbage bin. I found it in the garbage bin. I just put it up on Kijiji, right? And yeah, somebody came by right away. He says, I'll give you $50 for it. I said, here you go. Thank you for the $50. It didn't cost me anything except for the couple of minutes. And if I'd known it was going to go for that, I really would have dangled out of that garbage bin, and I would have grabbed everything, right? Because yeah, he was cleaning up the locker and he threw out so much stuff, right? Like so much stuff. And I grabbed a little bit, right? And I sold it, right? I sold a little bit, but isn't it, you know, to make money off of stuff, that's what it makes me feel good, right? Like to make money off of stuff that didn't cost you anything, right? Yeah. So that's my good cheer. So I've got my comments here. I'm just going to take a quick peek here and I've been watching the comments pop up on my phone here, but I should be watching them on the side because I can see there's actually lots of them. Oh, he's talking about his talk that he did at his church. Yeah, he did really good. He William emailed me when he got home, right? He was, yeah, you could tell that he was full of God at the time. Like he was really still high on the experience when he started emailing me, right? Because you could just feel the preach in him and the praise in him, right? Like he was, yeah, I was really, really happy for William, right? Yeah, William's on track now. William's well on track, right? William had a past few crappy years too, right? You know? Yeah, and he's starting to make improvements too. It always makes me happy, right? When I see that you guys, you know, make improvements. Like we all have different lives, right? We're all on different paths here. Like all of us are doing something different, but I love it how we all support each other, right? And the things that we're doing or the troubles that we have, whether it's in our personal lives or our work lives, right? And yeah, it warms my heart when I see that when you guys do that in the talk. When I'm yapping away and not paying attention as usual, right? Oh, Owen, then maybe this marble has to come to you. Send me your address, Owen. I'm not sure if I have your address. I might have it. I save all your emails I have a subscribers file, right? So your emails, they go in there, right? For me to reference, you know, when I have to comment people. Like I had to email Kathy because I sent her a catalog because she said that she would love to do the polar bear expedition with me, right? So I went tonight, I emailed the company and I asked them to send me a catalog, and they sent me a catalog. So I sent her a couple of my bath glasses and a little piece of jade that I had, and I mailed it off to her, right? So she just emailed me yesterday to say that she had gotten it, right? So I was really pleased that she had gotten it. But yeah, I sent her the catalog. So when as soon as she said that she wanted to do that trip with me, right? It's a very expensive trip. I would love to get a group together. It's going to cost $10,000 each, right? That's board and it's your lodging and the big machine that you drive around in, like the big, yeah, they have this track that you go in, and it doesn't hold a lot of people, maybe 20 people comfortably, but they have a dining room. They have two of them. One they have set up as a dining room for meals and things, and the other one is set up as a observatory, right, for the wildlife and stuff. And it's set up high so you can actually go outside onto the deck of these vehicles, right? Go out onto the deck, and the polar bears can't reach up high enough to reach you, right? So yeah, you get a real close up experience. And you always have that opportunity to get that perfect picture, right? I've seen the polar bear pictures, and you could do really, really well for yourself if you could, snap that perfect picture in that perfect moment that the polar bear is having. But I told Kathy that if we did go see the polar bears, that we'd actually have to do it in the summertime, right? Because I know the bugs are crazy, but I would have to go up to York Factory. I would have to go to the old Hudson Bay Fort. I would have to see that, right? I couldn't bear to get that close, so close to the fort and not actually go see it, right? So it would have to be a summer expedition to do that. Yeah. But you guys, help me out with this, right? So I'm going to be doing a 30-day challenge on Instagram, and I'm going to start tomorrow. And my hashtag is going to be perfect me after my cat, right? Because my cat's going to do a little bit better, because I got to try and figure out to get money for her vaccinations and to have her fixed, right? So that has got to be a priority. I'm a little bit concerned because she drinks too much water, right? I measured a cup of water today. It's in a measuring glass, and I'm just pouring it here or now and then into her bowl, because I want to measure at the end of the night how much water she's actually drinking in a 24-hour span. I don't think it is as much as I thought it was, right? Because I haven't done half the cup yet. I guess I was just putting a little bit of water in the bowl, and I could be panicking, but the cat did go through some serious life-threatening trauma this winter, right? When it got stuck out there in the freeze at minus. The cat survived. The cat survived for he didn't find her until I guess he only had her for a couple of weeks, right? So yeah, she spent most of the winter outside. I don't know how she survived. She lost her tail. It's so cute. It's so cute when she wiggles. She wiggles her little stubby. She sticks her stubby straight up in the air, and she wiggles her stubby, and she bounces, right? She bounces when she gets, I just love this cat. Like, it was perfect timing for a cat. You're such a cutie patootie. Yeah, and she loves me lots. So her challenge is to get her in a carrier on the bike in 1 month. So I've got 1 month. So this week I started picking her up. Like I said, I'm picking her up numerous times a day and walking around a little bit longer every day in the house, because she's got to travel with me. This cat, when I go camping, I want her to come with me. When I go for bike rides at night, I want her to come with me. I want her to be, I think I want to, maybe, I don't know if bring her onto the platform a little bit. I don't know. But for the next 30 days anyway, will be a good test in the next 30 days to see, how well she'll do. Because I think during challenge, because the challenge will be for her and for me at the same time, that maybe, I'll make sure that she'll be included in my post. But yeah, for sure, people, give me an idea, if you could think of some ideas of a good 30-day challenge for me. It's got to be self-improvement. That's the number one thing. It has to be something self-improvement. Like, there are lots of things that I need to accomplish, but I don't have a lot of resources, right? So it's not like I can make big plans, because there are no extra resources at the moment. Like, I've got a few things for sale, and I might luck out and, be able to, get 20, 30, 40 if I sell my coffee table, maybe $100, right? That these things, this money could go towards, getting the cat fixed and stuff, right? So I've got stirring ideas in my head. If I can figure out a way to make a little bit of extra money on the side, like, number one priority is I need my car back. I want my car back. Like, I want my car back. And my sister will give me the car back. I just have to be able to afford the insurance on my own, right? I miss my car. I miss my car desperately. Not like I would take the car downtown, for classes or anything, because the parking would be absolutely crazy, if I could even get parking downtown, right? But so I would still walk. But I don't even mind walking. I know there was one day this week, I can't, it snowed, it stormed the night before. We had a big wet snowy storm, and then the next day everything was slush and ice, and I almost slipped, I would say a half a dozen times just going to class. And like, I don't know really how long it takes me, so like I'm walking really fast, and I'm all worried I'm gonna be late. And you can't miss these classes, you have to be at them, right? So it puts me into panic. But I got it all done. Like, like I follow the nudges, and I get it done. But like, when I think about it and I'm walking, I'm going, and this isn't really what you want to be doing, right? Like, when and I'm doing it anyway, right? It makes me sad that I'm not chasing my dreams, because when you know what your purpose is, right? When you know what you're supposed to be doing, you're supposed to be focusing on your purpose, like 100%. And I'm not doing that. I'm being trained as a cashier so that I can make money, right? And I understand I do need camera gear, right? And I do need a new webcam for our lives, right? Because it's not like I'm going to want to use my phone all the time, but maybe I do. I don't mind the picture. How is the sound though? Next week I will use my headset. I mean, we could try it right now, but yeah, maybe we could try it on for the last half an hour of our live. If we could just try it with the headset and see if it's a little bit different, if it makes a difference, and then maybe next Sunday I'll wear the headset. Just hold on one second. Okay. Yeah, so I went for a walk today. I went for a coffee actually, and then I dropped into the hotel, and there was my sisters, and they were playing VLTs tonight or today. So I joined with them, and yeah, when my sister left, she gave me $100. So I right away, because I'm starting this serious momentum I'm trying tomorrow, right? So I'm going to try and get myself back on my Google Calendar. I'm going to try again my Google Calendar, right? I'm going to hold myself accountable. I have to hold myself accountable. Nobody's going to hold me accountable. I have to do it myself. And I bought a case of water. I brought it home in my backpack because I'm supposed to be drinking lots of water as I'm healing and stuff, right? Like lots of water to flush everything out, and yeah. And at least, I'm staying on top of my videos. Oh, I have a challenge for everybody. Oh, I thought of a great challenge for everybody. Okay, so something that I do is, I've talked about it before, but you know that Google is one of my mentors, right? And I'm very big at following Google's and YouTube's suggested videos. So I thought I would challenge everybody, right? Challenge everybody today that once a day, like you don't have to do them all, just once a day, go into your YouTube suggestions and pick one of the first 3 videos that Google or that YouTube suggests for you to watch, and do that every day. Every day. Let's say if you could do it for 2 weeks, and just pick one of the first 3 videos that YouTube suggests to you. And I want you to see how good YouTube and Google is at knowing you, right? Knowing your interests. I mean, they keep tabs of the videos you watch, the podcasts you watch, whether you watch documentaries or entertainment, and they base the videos that they suggest to you by what you watch, right? But they also, at the same time, they want to bring variety to your life, right? They want to add, good stuff to your life. So what they'll do is they'll suggest something kind of similar but different, right? That will maybe pique your interest to maybe draw you somewhere else that you might find interesting, right? So I thought I would challenge anybody that watches my video, right? Watches my lives and watch this live, that if you could do it for 2 weeks minimum, right? A whole month, if you wanted to do a 30-day challenge, right? And you know what? Maybe that would be a good challenge for me, is to watch that video and then maybe talk about my thoughts on that video, because the videos I watch are all mindset, right? And I'm certain that YouTube is going to suggest one of the first three videos that they suggest to me will be mindset or spirituality. It will be one of those for sure, right? So yeah, maybe that I'm gonna give that thought. Maybe I will join in, and that might be my perfect me, challenge for the month. Wouldn't that be neat? Yeah, but I want you guys to actually get a taste of how YouTube works, right? If you at all have seen any improvement in me, like all of you, like most of you on my channel in this live right now, you have been with me since almost the beginning. Like, I know for sure Andrew has. I know Owen has been with me almost from the very start. I don't know who else is here right now, but oh yeah, William's here. Like, I know you guys have been here with me right from the very start, right? And so if you have seen any improvement in me at all, because I have definitely seen it. I mean, there were times when I would do my lives and I would just be a babbling, complaining, whining, victimized, like, oh, I've got to get some of those comparison videos up. I think people would find them really, really interesting. I was watching one of my old videos not too long ago, and it was one when I was trying to go out and ask for permission to go into people's. Who remembers that video when I was looking to get permission to go and check out somebody's old property, right? And I was trying to get the nerve up to go knock on the door out in the countryside and everything. Oh, my nerves were just a rack, and I was having such a hard time, and I kept passing by, and then finally I just got so mad at myself that I did it, that I was so excited, right? And then I watched that video I watched that video again, right? When I got back in the car, and I was so proud of myself that I had actually done something that was so scary, right? And 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 the look on my face of pure joy, like the pure joy, and then the thought of how fast that feeling disappeared. Like you could see my face go from so happy to so down, like in a split second, right? Like I could not believe that I could so hold on to happiness for such a short amount of span of time, right? Now I don't have those feelings. Well, that's not true. Like I had a good crying. Like I said, I bawled my eyes out all the way walking downtown the other day. I just bawled my eyes out because I knew I wasn't in the right direction. Like, yeah, I'm meant for something else. Like I'm meant for, yeah, like this is not the life I'm dreaming of, right? But it is a life that's gonna afford me to go off and do what I want. But this isn't what I want to be doing, and right? And because I know what I want to be doing, that's where I'm supposed to be focusing, to be heading to, and it upsets me a little bit that I'm not able to do that right now. But I understand I got to be putting a roof over my head, so that's my number one priority. And my sister Tracy feels a lot better about it too, and it's important for me to help calm her nerves a little bit, right? Because she's not feeling well, right? And I feel responsible. I feel responsible because I put a lot of stress on her, right? Because she worries so much about me, and I know I shouldn't worry about her, but if something happened to her, like how would I get over that, right? You know, if something happened to my sister Tracy, right? So it's best that I crash this way, right? Because I couldn't take that crash. That would be a hard one to take, right? My sister Tracy is my best friend, right? So yeah, it is what it is, right? But let's look at the comments here. Yeah, no, that was actually wasn't one of my first. Oh yeah, my first Explorers. Yeah, I remember my very first Explorer. Like you could hardly. I was so excited to get into the house. I was so excited. I was with Megan, the lady who used to come out with me, right? And yeah, she didn't like the camping, and she didn't like the flies and stuff, right? And I took her away from her boyfriend. She just got engaged to her boyfriend, and I was taking up a lot of time, and I was gung-ho about this. Like I was really gung-ho about turning my YouTube channel into a business and stuff. And you know, it wasn't her thing, but she was so sweet. She was doing it for me, right? She wanted to make me happy. She was just an absolute sweetheart. But yeah, then she just stopped texting me, and and then we worked at the same place, and when I left there, then we never spoke again, right? And I haven't seen or heard from her since, right? So yeah, but she was a sweetheart. Oh, wonderful, Owen. Wonderful. That makes me happy, right? That I came up as a recommend, because that's what they want to do, right? Like, because what we're talking about tonight as we're having our conversations, right? You know, if somebody out there is having an issue, and then something we have discussed in this conversation, like whether it's you guys in the comments or me speaking live here. So that's why I'm so grateful the way you guys help each other out in the comments, and how you greet everybody when they pop into the chatter and stuff, right? Like, because what happens is my life will be suggested to somebody who actually needs the answers that one of you have supplied in the comments, or I have discussed in the broadcast, right? So, and that's how YouTube works, right? You want you want to be suggested out, right? Yeah, I don't want my videos just to be popping up to anybody's feed, because then what happens is you get somebody who comes in and they think it's one kind of video, and then they watch and they go, oh, like this is whacked, right? And then they'll leave not a nice comment or something, right? Or they'll not be nice. At least this way, when we let YouTube suggest it out, right? then you know it's going to people that are actually looking for this kind of content, right? That are looking for a little bit of a community, you know. There's not a lot of us baby boomers, and I know I'm only 1 year short of a baby boomer. I call myself a baby boomer, right? I think it was like 1960 and earlier, and I was born in 61. So I consider myself a baby boomer, right? But there's not a lot of us online. There isn't a lot of us online, you know, making content, and especially not mindset content, for sure, right? For sure. And yeah, this is sure been interesting. It's sure different from where I started, but it's all coming full circle, right? Like I had to learn this part. I was I was a mess, right? You know, it was important that YouTube, if I was going to be on YouTube, that I had to get some of my personal issues sorted out, right? I didn't realize that I had complex trauma. I didn't realize that a lot of my problems that I had were due to childhood trauma. I didn't realize that it affected people like that, right? Like I thought I was all healed up and I had forgiven, or you know, just ignore that, and you know, it's in the past, don't even think about it anymore, right? Like don't worry about it. And yet the problems that caused, right, you carry on in your life, right? You know, like my fear of asking for help, right? Like I don't ask people for anything, right? Lots of times I'll hint, like it drives my sister crazy, but she's so used to it now. It's like its own little conversation when I do it, right? But like, you know, I kind of dance around subjects, and I don't really come out and ask for things for myself, right? You know, because my whole life I've been shut down. The answer was always no. Like I would say, oh my gosh, so much no. It would have to be like I could use my charm. I didn't like to manipulate, right? You know, I didn't like, but you have to, right? Like when you have to get something done, like you have to get somebody into a position, or if you really need something, right? Because nobody ever wanted to give me anything as a kid unless it was attached with pity. And like I said, pity is the absolute worst thing for self-worth, right? Like, yeah, and I accepted so much pity. I actually thrived on pity, right? You know, so and I think the people that go onto the welfare systems and the social assistance systems, right? You know, they rely on pity like that, right? You know, and they make it work, right? Like they work the pity. That's not a good place to put yourself. It's not worth it, right? And I didn't realize how damaging it was, right? You know, like thank goodness that I happened onto this information. Like I said, it's like cookie crumbs, right? So that's why I'm challenging everybody here. Like your interests are different than mine, right? Your interests are different than mine. I don't know what they are, but YouTube and Google, they know what your interests are. I mean, they have cookies and they go in there and they know what you like to watch, you know, they know what you like to research, they know what you're Googling, right? So, you know, they're in the suggested, right? Like if you go into your left hand side on the top of your screen, you'll see that three bars, right? And if you hit that and it pulls down, you have up at the top, it'll say home, then it'll say trending, and then it'll say subscriptions, right? I have just under 100 subscriptions that I watch, right? But now I only use the home button, right? The first video I watch is the Evan Carmichael video, right? Only because I want him to get Like whoever you watch first gets the credit for all the videos you watched during the course of the day, right? So say if I uploaded a video in the morning and that was the first video that you watched, then every video you watched after that, until you shut your computer down, every video that you watched after that, I would get a little bit of a credit, right? And then YouTube would send somebody else to watch one of my videos as a reward, right? For being able to get you to go and watch, whether it's my video or somebody else's video, right? So my challenge to everybody was use your home button once a day. Like that's all I'm asking, just once a day. Go to your home button, push your home button, and the first 3 videos that YouTube suggests you to watch, choose one of them, right? And do that for at least 2 weeks, at least once a day. 30 days would be even better, right? Once a day. But I think it would only take you a couple of weeks, and then you would probably on your own increase that, because the way it works is you'll find something that catches your interest. YouTube will suggest something that really does interest, because YouTube knows you, right? They'll suggest something to you and you go, ooh, that was really good, right? And then because you liked it, because they know you watched the whole thing, you might have given it a thumbs up. So now they know that you liked the video. And if you shared the video, it means you really, really liked the video, right? And so you're helping that video out. So they'll get more views on their video. And then at the same time, YouTube knows that you really liked it, and they'll send you something else to watch along the same lines, right? But maybe by a different creator, right? Until they find a creator that does that topic that you really, really like, but they'll find the person that has the perfect personality that will resonate with you, right? You always go with how you feel, right? Like, how does it make you feel on the inside, right? How does it make you feel? If it makes you feel good, you resonated with it, it's perfect. That's exactly what you want to do in all aspects of your life, right? If it makes you feel good. Now, we're not saying nervous. If it makes you nervous, well, you still do it. If it makes you scared, you still do it. But if it makes you have accidents, if things go wrong, right? Like if you notice you're dropping things and you're forgetting things and things just aren't working out properly, right? Then you know that you're in the wrong direction, that maybe you should be going in another way, right? I know exactly what makes me happy, right? Like I know exactly where I'm supposed to be. And yeah, it's I love these guys, with my little calendar of my different classes and stuff that are going on and different courses and different job fairs and stuff. But yeah, and I am grateful. Like I really am grateful. And it's a mindset program, right? Like you guys, you can't go wrong with a mindset program. You just can't, right? Like even the government is doing mindset. Like it helps out so much. It helps out so much. Yeah. So anyway, that's what I was beefing off about tonight. But did David make it in here tonight? I'm just going to take a look at the comments here quickly and see if David made it in. No, David didn't make it in tonight. Yeah, that's Franciscan, I can't even say it, Franciscan monk? Yeah, I can't say it properly, but that's pretty cool that I have somebody who's a monk that actually follows my channel, right? That's yeah, I'm blessed, and yeah, and he sends me prayers and stuff too, right? And I feel you guys too, that you guys, throw me prayers too. So it's always, always, always appreciated, right? Always appreciated. Yeah, no Nancy tonight. Like, yeah. I hope she's feeling good. I hope she's feeling good, and I just hope that maybe she's spending the evening outside, or with some friends or something, right? Doing something fun and not, not in the hospital again. That just, yeah, pity is the same, a terrible thing. And not just pity yourself, right? But to allow other people to pity you, right? Yeah. There was a time there I wouldn't even let people know that I had problems. Like I didn't even actually even know that I had. Well, I knew I had some problems, but I didn't associate them with what they were really from, right? I just thought that they were just things that were not right, that I didn't have any control over, right? That I just had to live with. I didn't realize that they were things that could be fixed, right? Yeah, I'm pretty excited, right? Like if I got into the industry that I want to be in, like I'm really, really excited to see, how different my personality is going to be compared to, the different jobs that I had, right? Like in hospitality, you can't help but be happy, right? That's why I loved working in restaurants and bars, because people went to restaurants and bars to have a nice time, to have a good time, to be in a good mood, to be with people that they cared to be with, right? So when people came to restaurants and bars, they were usually in a good mood. So, usually it wouldn't be until the end of the night when the fights start, but then you would just brush those off. They didn't really bother you because you knew they were just drunken fights, and they would be, all over and forgotten with in the morning, right? But yeah, yeah, but try that challenge, everybody. If next Sunday, if you guys would let me know, I'm going to be asking you guys, right? And if you guys don't show up on Sunday, I'm going to know. It's not a big deal if you don't try my little test, but I would like to see if you found something new and interesting for yourself, right? That you picked up, or you delved deeper into the subjects that you are interested in, right? Or maybe it's the subjects that you are interested in and you're very steadfast about who you watch, and they actually sent you somebody that does the same thing but does it differently, and you resonate with them more. But if you guys do that for me, right? I would be interested to see what you guys discover for yeah. I think I might even do that myself, right? But what I will do is maybe I'll pick one of the first 3 videos that are suggested to me. I'll watch it, and then maybe I'll talk about it and I'll discuss it, right? Because I am doing mindset, right? And I've had lots of experience, and I have, my own way of thinking about things and stuff. So it would be interesting, to let them get their viewpoint across, and then me jump in and then give my point of view. Yes, what a good challenge. Yeah, I'll figure that out after the live tonight. Yeah, I'll do something like that. But yeah, I would like to see everybody start doing that in the suggested videos. I used to have over almost 300 channels, almost 300 channels that I was subscribed to, right? And I had to go through my channels, and I had to unsubscribe I thought I could get it down to like 10 or 15. I got it down to 100, and then I left the notifications on for only about 10 of them, right? But a couple of those channels, because I watch them consistently, they'll still get suggested to me, even if I don't hit the notification bell, just because I watch them all the time. And there are a couple of channels that I did unsubscribe from because they got the information that they were trying to get across. They got it wrong, right? They represented it as true. And I don't know if they knew that it wasn't true, or if they were just making a mistake and didn't know it was true, but it wasn't my place to say that they had messed up. So yeah, I just subscribed instead. but, like thinking that it's going to make my point. Like it makes no point. These people have hundreds of thousands of subscribers, right? Like me unsubscribing from them is not going to make a difference. And on top of that, I'm still watching their videos because YouTube knows that I watch their videos still, right? Yeah, they just got the information wrong. And sometimes I see the jealousy, right? Like sometimes I see people try to dissuade people from moving forward or doing better or doing outstanding or even better than themselves, right? They have that little bit of, I don't want them to be better than me kind of attitude, right? And if you catch that, right, and it's off-putting, right? Because we should always be each other's cheerleaders. Like, you guys aren't going to be interested in doing what I'm planning on doing, and I certainly would not be able to survive in the things that you guys find interesting, right? Like all of us are so different, but we should always be tolerant, right? That's why I was thinking it was important for me not to have a denomination, right? So that I could be fair, and then just appreciate and study all the denominations and religions, right? And cultures, and then just pick the stuff that I resonate from each, right? Because I know who's got it right and who doesn't got it right. And just because they've got it right in this doesn't mean they've got it right in this, right? And that's the same with me. This is all a learning process. Like I'm feeling this out, right? Like I'm feeling this out. Like yeah, I feel like I'm on some kind of divine purpose, and I'm just kind of like, I'm just like following the breadcrumbs in this whole thing, right? But I know something's up. I'm just not privy to all the information yet, right? But I do know I can talk, and I'm encouraged to talk about anything about my life, right? Like, so if you guys ever had questions, like about anything, like about me or anything, like you ever found curious about me, like I'm more than happy to discuss it, right? And I know that there's nothing that I can't talk about. Like I've been encouraged to talk about my life, right? And I do that lots in my Instagram posts, like, I keep thinking, oh, Cindy, like people are going to know you so darn, like compact, like they're going to know you inside out. They're going to know how to get you when they want to get you. And then, they're going to know how to get you to do what they want you to do, just because you let it all out there, right? But there's so much about my personality. There's so much about me. Like that's just the tip of the iceberg. That's just the little piddly stuff, right? There's so much more. So yeah. Oh, look we were just talking about you, David. We were just I was just asking if you had popped in tonight, and I looked back in the comments and I didn't see you, but awesome. Envy, that, and I was discussing quite a bit of that. My sister Tracy, she does so well for her life, for herself, right? She has a good paying job. It's a very stressful job, but she works really hard. She's able to make a beautiful home for herself. She's able to have a house husband. Her husband doesn't work, right? He does healing. He heals people, right? He has like colonies come into him to see him and stuff, and yeah, he does healing work, and yeah, they have a great life, right? And I don't envy them, and they go on big trips and yeah, nice cars and nice homes, and and she treats her family well, right? She takes care of her sisters or her nieces and nephews and stuff, right? And her pets, like she loves her pets too. But when it comes to envy, like there's none of that. Like I wish my sisters only the best, right? even the people that I admire, the people that I want to be like, and they're living the life that I so want for myself, and I see it on the screen, right? Of course I want that. Of course I say, "Oh, I wish I could be there," right? But that's not envy. Envy is when you actually, like you think it has something to do with the person that's experiencing, right? Because somebody is in Hawaii enjoying the beach, right? Relaxing on the beach, but you don't know that they worked 80 hours a week, for the past year, and that was the first vacation that they had in a year, and they're getting backlash from their subscribers, or hate emails, or hate texts and stuff, right? Because they're relaxing on the beach, or enjoying nature and stuff, right? So I don't know. I was going off there somewheres too. But yes, envy is a terrible thing. We all make our own lives, right? Like, what if it's good or if it's bad? Like, if you want to be envious, like, put the effort into your own life, make your own life be envious. Wouldn't that be amazing? I would love to make my life so amazing that I would be that person that would say, "Oh, if it wasn't me, I would be so envious of myself," right? Life is so amazing, right? And that's what I work towards, right? That's what I work towards every single day. Yeah. Well, everybody, it's 9 o'clock, and I feel like I just and you're right, David. We should want good for all, right? You know, blessings to everybody. Like, it's just so amazing, right? Like, my word of the day, I must say it 20 times every day. I say the word dear, right? Kindness is so important. And that word dear, I always had an affinity to that word dear, right? It shows love and caring. It shows respect. It shows you're noticing the person, right? So I use dear all the time when I thank people. I always say thank you, dear. Like, I always approach people that way. Yeah, it's important to lift other people up. Like I said, like, I don't hesitate to have conversations. I had another conversation this week with a lady I met in class, and she had four young ones. I think she said the oldest one was 10 years old, and she had uh, one girl and three boys, and all of them had some type of learning disability. One had anxiety, and when the kids act up when they're children, they have issues. I can't remember the name. Autistic child, right? But she had four of them, right? All under the age of 10. And she didn't look older than 30 years herself, right? And it looked like she was having a hard time even taking care of herself, right? 'Cause she's spending all her time bettering her life so that she can better the lives of her kids. And yet she had files and files. She kept nice, neat, tidy binders and everything of all her kids' medical conditions and all the official papers of doctors. Like, she was like filing so well. Like, I looked at it and I thought, oh, she would do so good in an office. If they put her in an office, that's the place that she should have been, was being put into office work, right? Because she was just so organized, right? And you could just tell that she loved her kids so much, and she was getting all this help for her kids, right? Yeah, and then and you can see that she's working so hard, but she said that people are always trying to take her kids away from her. Like, People are always phoning and complaining about her and stuff. And she says she follows all the rules and she goes above and beyond because she loves her kids. And when she learns things, she applies them into her lives, and she applies them to her children's lives. And she says, but she just keeps getting these bum rubs, right? Like she just, it's just like me, right? Like some of us were just meant to be scapegoats in life, right? Like we're, somebody recognizes that you're a battery and you become somebody's genie, right? Yeah. Yeah. So, you're going to do that for somebody, then it's going to be for somebody that you want to do for, right? You're going to have to, you have to add those talents and work those abilities of yours, and it's got to be done for good. So if I'm going to work for people and I'm going to apply those talents that I have, then I got to make sure that whoever I'm working for is giving back to the world, right? Because it's kind of like they'll be giving me, giving me to the world, right? So it's a gift from them to whoever. So it has to be somebody who helps, right? And in general, right? Like it doesn't have to be one specific person. It should be for a group, right? Like I know that things are going to go a certain way at some point, right? But if I'm not prepared for it, like how can I be prepared unless I'm prepared? Like, the direction I'm in right now is directly preparing me for that, right? And at the same time, it's going to benefit so many other people, and then on top of that, benefit people that need the help, because they're the ones that are taking the beatings, right? Like they're out there getting beat up every day trying to help people, right? Trying to help people, and it's causing their issues, right? And I think I could help a little bit in a lot of those aspects just from what I went through, right? So yeah, I would like to continue my studies at that point, right? But yeah, we just gotta ride the waves. It's playing out the way it's supposed to play out, right? Yeah, Andrew, I bet you're very organized. Are you a very organized person with your files and your paperwork and stuff? Yeah, I asked my sister for a file cabinet, but I just really wanted it for the kitchen so I could keep like my vegetables, my potatoes and stuff in the drawers, and my onions and stuff so they don't smell up the house, and yeah. Oh, look at here. She's fast asleep. Oh, she's awake now. Oh, let's lift her up. Oh, everybody, look at my cat. Huh? Look at perfect. Hey, look at perfect. Look at my cat. She's so beautiful. I just love this cat, right? Like I said, I pick her up several times a day. When I first got her, she was pushing me away, constantly pushing me away. Look at, she's not even pushing. She's actually even just comfy. But see, she's got no ear. I feel so bad. That must have been so scary for her, right? That must have been so. Oops. Aww. Aww. You want to go down? But look at her bum. Look at her tail. Look at it. Look at it, Michael. Hey, look at her tail. Look at how she jerks it. You should see her when she gets excited for her dinner. Look at her tail. It's just like the cutest thing. Her little tail, the way she wags her tail. Yeah. So her tail froze, right, and it snapped. It snapped off. But she's such a good kitty. Hey, you're such a good kitty. Yeah. So I really need to get her fixed, right? And she needs her first vaccinations, because once I get her on the bike, I want the public to meet her, and I want my sisters to meet her, and I want to be able to take her up to my sister's garden so she can walk around in the backyard. Yeah, I know. But she's still a little bit scared. But yeah, that's my new cat, and yeah, I'm sure she's ready for some dinner. But yeah, I was concerned about the amount of water she was drinking. But like I said, I put 1 cup of water on the side, and I've been pouring a little bit of that cup because I want to see, because I was just filling up the bowl every time it was empty. I was just filling up her bowl of water, right? So I wanted to measure exactly how much water she was drinking, but it looks like she is drinking less than a cup of water a day, which I still think is a little bit high. But she might have been on milk. They might have been feeding her milk or something, and I know milk isn't really good for cats, right? Oh, okay, you guys, it's going to be just a little bit late, but remember when I said that I was doing some self-improvement and that I was just going to try and build up some momentum, and that's why I got the cat, right? To try and help make me happy. I have somebody to talk to, and yeah, she's good company, like very good company. She sleeps with me at night, and she likes to sit up in the window, and I open up the window because we got lots of dogs and stuff and people walking up and down. I'm right across from the school, so it's not a super busy street, but it's busy enough during the day, with the parents and the kids and stuff. And yeah, she really enjoys it, right? She really enjoys it. So yeah, 30-day challenge. My perfect me challenge is perfect me and my cat, which is perfect me, right? So yes, starting tomorrow, I have my plan. Like after I'm done with my live, I'm actually writing it down, and then tomorrow I'll be working in the calendar. But I got class all day tomorrow. I'll be at class all day tomorrow, and then yeah, by the time I get home, like I'll walk home, right? So I'll probably get home around dinner time, and by that time, I'll have a quick dinner, and then I'll get ready for my doing my post, right? My Instagram post. But yeah, you guys, just go to your Play Store and download the Instagram app, and come and watch me on Instagram. You would just love my posts. Like Owen, I know Owen is watching my posts there, but Andrew, you would love my writing. I think Andrew would love my posts over there, right? Yeah, because then you can really see what I'm doing. It's a little bit different. It's more the mindset over there, right? But yeah, I put beautiful nature pictures, like beautiful photos of owls and deer and moose and all different wildlife that I come across, right? But yeah. It's not hard, Andrew. I would love to have you on Instagram. It's easy. Just download the app, Instagram app, and then you can watch it, right? Or you can follow me on Facebook, because I do my posts, the same posts, they just get shared on Facebook. So you can follow Prairie Dodgers on Facebook too, because my posts go there too, and that way you can comment on that. So Andrew, if you have Facebook, you can follow me on Facebook too. Okay, everybody, like I said, tomorrow I'm starting my new challenge. I got lots of water, I got my vitamins, I have a scale now. I got on the scale. I've been off my diet since Christmas, right? I went off my diet. I went on the scale today. I haven't gained any weight. I haven't lost any weight, but I haven't gained any weight. Like, I'm the same weight as I was at Christmas. I'm so pleased. So I'm just going to lose that 10 pounds. And that's my play around 10 pounds, right? If I lose the 10 pounds, then I can just kind of bounce around in there, up and down, right? And I've also given up bread 100% completely. I have no control over food. I've realized, and I'm not sure if I can change I know I can change my habits, right? But I can't give up some of my favorites forever. Like, it's not like I'll never be able to stay on a diet forever. And if you put me on a diet that is forever, then I won't be able to stay on a diet, because it will be so miserable. So I do have to have those cheat days now and again. So I knew I gave up candy, and giving up candy was not hard. And I gave up candy, a long time ago, 7 years, I'm going to say. Yeah, maybe 7 years ago, I gave up candy, and I did so well. And I've only had a few pieces of candy in that whole 7 years, right? Now, at first, when I gave up candy, I ate more cookies and I ate more potato chips, right? But only for a little while until I got used to the habit of not having the chocolate and the jujubes. Like jujubes were my weakness. Like I would pluck a jujube out of a dirty ashtray. That's how much I like jujubes, right? So I had to give up the candy because candy is a zero food, right? So it doesn't offer you anything in nutrition. So it was for sure because of the carbohydrate, the sugar, right? Like it was too much. Candy had to go. But I decided last week because I was eating too much bread. Yeah, I love my bread, you know. And when I have bread, if there's bread, there's a jar of peanut butter, right? And I cannot control myself around peanut butter. I love peanut butter. I love peanut butter. If everybody who was here and said, if you were only allowed to have, okay, maybe you guys want to answer this. If you were only allowed to have one meal, one item to eat for the rest of your life, water, and this one food item, and you couldn't eat anything else. This is all you had. That was all the earth had for you for food. It was just this one item. What would it be? And my item, no question, would have been peanut butter because of the protein, right? The fats, the proteins, the sugars, right? Like it's something, it's one of those meals like cheese, right? Like if you were in a desert, you could survive. If all you had was cheese and you didn't even have any water, you could survive on cheese because even though cheese is a solid, there is tons of water in cheese and tons of protein, obviously. So if you just ate cheese, you could live, right? Yeah. So I gave up bread. So I'm not eating bread. It's sad, right? Because I do love egg salad sandwiches, and I love grilled cheese sandwiches and patty melts and tuna sandwiches. I love tuna sandwiches, right? But I can't control myself with bread, so bread has to go. Now, I didn't ban myself from the baking stuff, like the cookies and what have you, right? I left that kind of open, so if I have a cheat day or something, then I can, you know, and I feel I need to have cookies or something, then I know that I could have that, right? But bread will, I'll gain weight again. So if I'm going to have any controllability over my weight, then it's the bread. But I was so happy to find out that I hadn't gained that weight over Christmas, right? I was so happy. I was surprised, right? But I got the same scale as my sister got, right? The exact same scale, so that way I know that the scale's going to read exactly the same. But yeah, I was happy about that, and now I'm back in, like I said, I have a busy days now, like I'm really busy. So I should be able to eat less, right? I'll be able to lose a few more pounds, not too much. I don't want to lose any more than 10 pounds, 15 pounds maximum, right? Maximum 15 pounds, but then that would only be weight that I can bounce in between, right? Like I can gain a little bit of weight and then, I gained 5 pounds. Okay, well, you know what, Cindy, this week you're just going to exercise a little bit more and watch what you eat and then lose the 5 pounds. And then, like I said, just bounce around in there. I'm so proud of myself this year, right? What I did for myself health-wise, like I'm so proud of myself. I lost that weight. I'm exercising like all through winter, 40 below zero, no matter how cold it was. I went for an evening walk for hours. I went for hours. Sometimes I would drop in at my sister's house, you know, with a cup of coffee for her. But on the most part, I would just leave the house and I would just go walking, right? I don't believe in high impact exercises. I like swimming and bike riding and walking and hiking, right? I like non-impact exercise. Okay, I've really gone over now. So everybody, have a great night. We'll see you next Sunday. Oh, I said I was going to try my my speaker. Shall we do it just right now, really quickly, just to see if this will work? So then when I do my live next Sunday, then I'll wear my headset if it's good, okay? So let's just punch this in and then just let me know how the sound is, okay? And we're just gonna stick that right there. Okay, everybody. So let me know how the sound is now, and I'll just oh, I turned that way up. That Sorry, everybody. I did that. I did that. Okay, how does it sound? Does it sound okay? Oh, it is muffled. It is muffled. Okay. Well, everybody, have a great night. We'll see you next Sunday. Have a great week, and don't forget, do my challenge, right? Pick a short video. If you just for your own curiosity, just do it for your own curiosity and see what YouTube comes up for you, and see if they come up with a a little bit different plan for you or something. Maybe something you'll find something really, really interesting. I almost guarantee it. I almost guarantee it. One video today a day, something that's suggested by YouTube. Just go into your home page, right, on your main page on your YouTube channel, and just watch one of the first three videos that they suggest to you, and then we'll talk about it next Sunday, okay? And I'll do the same thing. Okay, everybody, have a great night. Off I go. Bye bye.